Alright, hey traders! In this video we're going to have an update on what the US market indices are doing. S&P 500, Dow Jones, Russell, Nasdaq, SPY, and all that down home country goodness. So let's get into it. Alright, so anything I do say in this video is general advice only. Make sure that you have a tight trading rules and systems that you are following all the time. Make sure you have good money management. Make sure that you're following the trade, have good trade management, because they're a lot of things. One, you have emotional control. Two, you need a really good tight trading system, know exactly what you're trading. Three, you need trade management. And four, you need good money management when it comes to that. That's another video, and I go dig a bit deeper into that. But this video here is all about teaching you and showing you what I see in the indices. Okay, so let's actually go into that now. Let's actually look at what we're looking. Let's actually go into what I'm seeing right now. Right now we're looking at the S&P 500. Okay, S&P 500 is off the ranks first. Let's actually have a look at this. Firstly, we actually had a little bit of an update, a little bit of a sideways movement, and I wasn't too quite surprised by that, as I did say in yesterday's video that I did see a lot more downward movement coming, or not a lot, a hesitation here at least, and I actually see a lot more a downward movement coming within the next couple of days, moving into the end of this week. So that's what I do see on the S&P 500, and you'll see exactly the reason why I say that moving forward more. But what I do see on the S&P 500 is that you can see the markets run up, and notice this. One thing I want you to take notice is this. Look at this. Look at the stochastics here, okay? We had this high here, but look where the stochastics are. They're oversold, and look, we had a run down. It came back up. It hit this area of resistance. The stochastics were oversold, started to turn around, and then we had a run down. We're coming up here now. We're not even at that top now. We're starting to falter a little bit. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to go down yet. I do believe it's going to go down over the next couple of days, but I'll show you the reason why in a minute. But just by looking at the S&P 500, look at this here. But look where the stochastic's getting. Look how we're getting very, very close there. Maybe another 1 or 2 days, we're going to be there, right? And if the market stays where it is right now, guess what we're creating then? We are creating what? We're creating lower peaks, and lower troughs. Makes sense? And so this is actually now starting to shift. You can see how, if you look at this whole thing, right, you can see how this is shifting from an upward movement channel to now we're starting to shift down a little bit, as you can see, right? Now, I'm not saying that no one knows what's going to happen, but just by looking at that, that's what I can see there, on that as well too. If I go to, say, the 4-hourly chart, you can look at the 4-hourly chart way up there, and it hardly ever gets up there. And as you can see, the last couple of times it got up here was up this point through here. It went sideways for about a day and then dumped big time, dumped around about close to 1.5%. Okay. And then it started going sideways. That was the last time the stochastics were up here. So I see a pullback tonight. I really do see a pullback tonight. And that's going to show you more what I see actually on the SPY when we actually look at the SPY. This is the S&P 500. When we actually look at the SPY, I see downward movement coming tonight. Okay. So that's that one there. And that's what I do see on the S&P 500. Let's go now and have a look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, very similar thing to the S&P 500, but on this one here, we can actually see that, right? If we draw like a bit of a trend line coming through here, okay, and you can see that trend line through there, and if I just draw it on the highs through there, as you can see, right, we are coming down through there. And in fact, I just let me revert back to the S&P 500 for a minute. One thing I did notice, let's actually bring this chart up through here. This chart through here. One thing I did notice is that if you draw a trend line from this point through here and you actually connect the bottoms through here, as you can see, right? I'm just connecting basically the points through here, right? This is the resistance through here. Look at all the support. If you grab that and then create that through there, if you look at that through there, it actually looks like it might be a bit of a channel. Do you see that there? So it's just a theory right now. You don't know exactly that, but I just noticed that looking before. Anyway, let's get back to the Dow Jones. You can actually see we're actually hitting that area of resistance right now. Create a parallel trend line, and you could possibly see that this could actually be a bit of a down the bottom through here. that actually could be a bit of a channel we're in right now. In fact, that is a channel. You can see the support, hit resistance, come down, hit support. It's at resistance right now. Look at where the stochastic is. And once again, guys, look at this. Look at the stochastics, and look at, especially on the Dow Jones, right? Look at this peak here. Look at this peak here, right? When we actually had this peak here, that was that peak there. Now look at this here. Look at the lower peak here. This is the lower peak. Look at the stochastics. Look where the stochastics are almost getting out, and we're almost creating a lower peak. That's a very weak sign. If that's the case, then we have a very good chance of not only running down, but running down and breaking these lows and continuing down to here. Okay, now I know that's a pretty big, pretty big statement, but that's what I'm seeing here. We're starting to falter through here. Okay, I want you to start noticing of this through here. This is the signs. If you want to start seeing what a bear market starts to look like, it's this. Go check any market. Okay. Go check any market out there. In fact, let's go to the weekly chart, and let's actually go back to the 2008 crash, and I'll show you here, right? And if you look at this here, right, you can actually see it, in light of day what actually happens here. I'll do a bit more of a tutorial on this but you can actually see high peaks, high troughs, high peaks, high troughs, double top. We had a high trough, higher peak. You can see it squeezing through there, and then guess what? Then we created a lower peak and a lower trough, and then ran up, made another lower peak. And as you can see, right, as we had a higher trough, higher trough, higher trough. We had the lower peak come in first, then the lower trough, then we had another lower peak. Look at this here, lower peak, lower trough. This point through here, right, when they started making lower peaks, lower troughs, that's when the market started to come down. We started to shift, right? We started to shift momentum, and we started to move down. Now, I'm not saying that's happening right now, but it does look like we're starting to shift momentum, and we're starting to shift momentum, especially on a short-term basis as well. I'm not saying we're going to go down, guys, okay? Or actually for the short term, I'm saying that right now. Look where we are right now. But this is the first signs, okay? If you want to get weary of, are we going to turn into a bear market? Is this market's going to continue down? This is the thing to look out for. If we run and break this high here to create a higher peak, okay? So if we run and we create this little high peak up the top here, wrong one, John. If we create a little high peak up here, then that says, okay, this is just a little short little pullback, channel to the pullback, and now we're just like, we're going up, pull back, and then we're continuing back up again, and we're likely to continue up. If we break this level through here, especially breaking this level through here, there's a whole bunch of area of support. We're likely to do that and then continue up through there, okay? But for now, what we see right now is what I'm showing you on that. Now, let's actually go through the other markets, the Russell. And this is the one that I definitely wanted to show you. Yesterday's video, I talked about the market faltering, the market having a bit of resistance point where it is right now. And I said that we're actually due for a pullback, and that's exactly what's happened through here. Let me take all these trend lines off for a minute, and as you can see, right, we had a bit of a pullback. We actually have a gap to fill. So the S&P 500 looks like it's getting very, very overbought. The 4-hourly looks like it's going to have a pullback. Okay, the Dow Jones looks like it's going to have a pullback. The S&P, the Russell right now, as you can see, right, the Russell right now is actually indeed at this area of resistance levels, and that's not really respecting that at all. So you can see this resistance level up here, right? It's paused through there, broke through it, and now it's pausing through here as well too. What do we see once again, guys? Okay, what do we see once again on here? We see, look at where this stochastic is. Look at where that stochastic was. Okay, and we had a pullback. Now we're running back up. We're running back up, but guess what? Guess where this high is? Is this a higher peak or a lower peak? It's a lower peak, right? If you look at this trough through here, then that's actually a slight lower trough. So if the stochastics start to turn around up here, that's going to be a lower peak, and guess what? Downward movement we should go. Again, if we want to see the Russell moving even higher, we want to see it break at least a nice higher peak through there. But we do have a gap to fill here, guys, and so that's what I'm looking at. Same with the Nasdaq. Same with the Nasdaq, guys. Nasdaq is the exact same thing. Looking at the stochastics, we're getting very, very close to the overbought signals. We're getting ready now to turn again, and down we should go to fill this gap. Okay. Again, if we look at the 4-hourly chart, looking at the 4-hourly chart, we can see, look at it right now. Look how high it is. We just really went sideways, and we had a bit of a pullback. The whole riots and stuff in Greece right now, it was all put into the charts. You know what I mean? All put into the charts. So we should actually see this coming down through here to close the gap, within the next couple of days, I would say. So that's what I do see on the markets itself. And also, let's actually have a look at one. We'll have a look at the SPY as well too. And remember I said, guys, that I do see this market actually coming down through. I do see this market coming down, coming down to close this gap. We're looking at the 4LA chart. You can see how it's just had a run down and then a pop back up through here. It's continuing to move higher. Well, look at this. Look at where the stochastics are. Okay, look at where the stochastics are. We are now very, very, very high. And I don't see too much upside for this here as well too. Okay, guys, I personally don't see too much upside, and it's a bit of aftermarket trading going on there, but the before market trading was there. You see, software's doing its thing. But you can see here, right, the market's flowing through there, and now we can actually see, if I bring on the trend lines, you can actually see that we're actually at that level right now. Bring up the daily chart, and you can see we're actually at that level right now. Somewhere around about this level through here is indeed a resistance level. You can see all this support level through here. It's hitting this resistance now. We have a gap to fill, guys. So I would not be too surprised to see some news coming out in the market that say, oh my goodness, Greece is doing this and whatever, okay? Greece is small anyway. It's all China. But anyway, I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of news announcement coming out and then close the gap very, very, very quickly. If we get like a 2% down day or whatever, or 1.5% or 2% down day to come and close the gap very quickly, I would not be too surprised to see that happening, okay? Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. This is a bit of an update. This is what I see. This is why I see it. And that's the reason why I say back to the Dow, back into the S&P 500. That's the reason why I say that I do see more downside coming very, very, very quickly. This is John Howell here. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.